Hello, hola, and buenas, buenas. Welcome back to La Cuna Galaxiana, a podcast made with love. Tonight, we'll be breaking down the LA Galaxy's wasted opportunity after a one-all game in Portland on match day 5 that the Galaxy really should have won due to a 20th minute red card that left the G's up a man for 70-plus minutes. We'll break down the impactful beginning of this match, what we saw in those 70-plus minutes afterwards, and just why the Galaxy couldn't find the winner in this match. Plus, MLS's miniseason called The Sprint has been announced. All of that and more coming up on tonight's episode of La Cuna Galaxiana. Papá, tócame la música.
Cheese.
Yeah, let's get it started with a new year, new me. Una Galaxiana still reporting on the news feed, yeah. And you know who it be, the 6 stars from the jersey, putting work in the league. Word on the street, we rip teams immaculately. We see the players come and go, but I'm forever a G. And you can catch me yelling tactics on the field when I leave. Get it together like I'm Vanny when I'm giving a speech. Back to the pitch, score goals, dribbling tricks. I heard a transfer window rumor, let me see who it is. I got statistics on the player, puzzle pieces that fit. Con este show que es tan bilingüe que tu papi lo ve. Rápido pues, hablando de este club otra vez. En las buenas y en las malas, we got love for the crest, love for LA. Let's get it started, light up the stage. Every week on Monday night I'm tuning into the place. Yeah, you know what it is. Es La Cuna Galaxiana, 4th season, Rob Ananda. And my name, ya te lo sabes.
Welcome back to La Cuna Galaxiana, a podcast always made with love for all you LA Galaxy fans and all you soccer fans out there. Man, it feels like we've been away from you from so long, but I know it was just the other day that we were with each other. I'm one of your co-hosts tonight, as always. My name is Rob Hello, and you can find my written work at the Sporting Tribune. That's right, I write stuff. Go ahead and read them, please. And then, of course, you can always find me online at El Escudero de LA. And since I'm here, I have un merengue right next to me, rocking that white jersey famous throughout the world. El papá de Natita. Y el yerno guapo. Nanda Kirana. Papa, how's your weekend, man?
Well, Sunday wasn't a great day. Let's put it that way. I was already in a pretty bad mood in the morning because some other team forgot to also waste their chance, their opportunity to win silverware in this particular case. So that was tough. And then, of course, we saw the Galaxy game unfold. Looked good after, 20 some odd minutes, right? Like, ooh, here's a shot. But unfortunately, you know, the great Nat King Cole once said, life is unforgettable. There's some unforgettable moments in life. But unfortunately, Papa, Sunday for me was forgettable. And that was my one-word reaction for this match. Forgettable. I just want to forget about it. Like, it's honestly like you have a golden opportunity to set things right, especially before a week-and-a-half international break, to break the duck on your road losing streak, which continues on. Like, I wonder, the longer that goes on, does that now become like a little elephant in the room that we can't get out, right? Kind of like last year with the unbeaten, or sorry, the winless streak. And the show rolls on.
Funny you should mention. That's what my whole article was about, man. Like, I asked Greg and I asked Edwin, like, I guess I haven't been able to win on the road. Greg's like, hey, we're not thinking about it. We'll go into it because I actually wanted to talk about it, but anyway,
I mean,
go ahead.
I hope for them that's forgettable too, right? But it's but unfortunately, you know, it's one of those things where the longer it goes, like, they're going to get more questions about it. So the team has to just find it within themselves to break that streak, because that's going to be a problem. Like, I hope that doesn't, especially like going away to Toluca in the first round, and you have that type of pressure. But anyway, so yeah, for me, forgettable day, forgettable match. I'm looking forward to the break.
Ooh, nightmare with a banger of a comment here in chat already. Chat already doing their thing. Thank y'all. He says, I went to a funeral after the game to cheer me up.
That's deep. That's
damn. Eso is some cortavena shit right there. Anyway, yeah, man, it was forgettable for you. It was honestly like, man, like I don't want to just boil it down to just like such like a simple word, but really it was sad. Like, I mean, I'm gonna walk you through like what that game was like for me. All right,
the 8 stages of misery. Go ahead. Yeah.
Nah. I mean, it was probably like the 24 stages of misery, but such was my faith in these cats that they would take advantage of their man advantage and gets the 3 points in this game that I halfway through this one, I started writing my article as if they were going to win and started saying flowery things like they finally run on the road for the first time since I think now it's October 2024. They finally won in Portland for the first time since April 2022. And I couldn't put that article out there because at full time they forced me to rewrite my entire thing. Like, man, first off, how annoying that they made me like redo the work. But second off, like how annoying that they couldn't find the goal. Like, and they were annoying as well. I mean, just brass tacks. They told us. I mean, they said it was an opportunity wasted. It was a chance wasted. Any way you want to slice it, they know they didn't get the job done. And they said as much. So.
Yeah, and you know what's frustrating about this, and I know this is frustrating fans, and I'm sure like I have not been online the last, let's say, 48 hours for like multiple reasons, right? But so it's now twice, Papa, that the Galaxy team has not been able to capitalize against 10 men in 2 occasions. And on the flip side, we have been punished for going down to 10 men on one particular occasion. So it's like we've gotten the worst outcomes. Well, maybe not totally worse, like, cause like we didn't drop all 3 points. There were still 2 points gained, but not good outcomes given the game states of where things laid out. And that's now twice. Now that's not like over 90 minutes, over 100 minutes of play that we haven't scored a goal against 10 men. And that's not good. I mean, we'll talk about all that stuff because I feel like the operative word will be like, or words or phrases like, how does this team break down a low block? I mean, we've been talking about that all season, and those questions are going to continue.
Has there been a plan B? I mean, yeah, you're right. We've been talking about it. I mean, the questions will continue because it really should have got it done, and like the fact that they didn't, and there's some quality in this team, and they just didn't. Greg said, you know, they were a little bit more about me than about us. And that's telling. That's telling right now. Like maybe it's kind of getting to them at the moment. But yeah, I mean, it's just Greg's, you know, called out in recent memory Mitrovic, and like just very subtly he's calling out the entire team right here. You know, it's more about me than about us right now. But anyway, there's a lot more to get into. So we will move on. And that was just the one-word match reaction, Ananda. Can you believe it? Damn.
There's lots to talk about. Yep. There's a lot of details and nuances.
Yeah, this one feels like a sad 4 hours, and it's a tie, you know? So, like, the loss, the recent loss, what was the last one?
Well, it was SKC 2-1.
Yeah. That one I felt better about that one than about this game right here, just because. No, I mean, like
it's thereabouts. Like,
yeah, the emotions for me.
We shouldn't have lost that game either. I have like I have some stats over like the last couple of results, and it's like these are games that the Galaxy should have won on paper. But anyways,
of course, we're halfway to your stated goal of 10 games for stats, but I feel like at 5 now we have at least enough of a data set to go ahead and start seeing some trends, if not outright pulling out some like key statistics. But anyway, when we get to 5, I mean, when we get to 10, you know, we may get a little bit click into that a little bit more. But anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and like I said, there was a lot there in that one word reaction, but we're gonna go ahead and get into everything else. Before we get into shout outs, Ananda, what you got to tell the people?
Yeah, just some housekeeping, guys. So you guys can always follow me, block me, or stalk me at Ananda Galaxiana. Rob just said there you can find him at El Escudero de LA. He's writing a bunch of articles right now for the Sporting Tribune. So go ahead and catch his written work at the Sporting Tribune there. And of course, you can find us on all of your socials, including Blue Sky and of course X and IG. And you can find us obviously on YouTube and catch our YouTube shorts and catch Rob's Minuto de la Mañana, which hopefully you guys are enjoying those as well. We tend to drop those on Mondays and Thursdays, really when there's a game the night before, so that we can kind of react to and give you guys the quick tidbits. And it's only a minute, so all it takes is a minute there on your either on your walk or on your drive or on your commute, whatever that is. So again, hope you guys are enjoying that for sure. And of course, you guys, if you want to,
excuse me, guys.
if you want to support the show, and of course, like, we've got some, Rob and I are still like, we got to get to it soon, but we got to get this live show off the ground. And
yeah,
so whenever that comes, guys, of course, if you do, throw us a super chat, we will put that towards the proceeds for a live show and all that good stuff. We want to give back to you guys for sure. So that's a big part of this. But of course, if you guys got
a live show, it'll be live with y'all, man. It'll be absolutely
exactly. We're gonna
fantastic time with you guys.
Pull out all the stops for sure. So go ahead and throw in those super chats, guys, if you would so please. But if not, it's all good because we just love that you guys are actually listening to two knuckleheads talk about this team that drives us all nuts.
No sé por qué. No sé por qué.
But anyways, guys, last thing here is, of course, como siempre, antes de olvidarme, buenos días, tardes o noches. Y bienvenidos a otro capítulo de La Cuna Galaxiana. I guess this isn't Modelo Foo Hours, but, it is what it is.
Like I said, it feels
like it. Man. It feels like it. For
sure. Marvin, yeah, thanks, man. I like having my morning quickies with you guys. It's a good time. Stay tuned. There's going to be some more of those. Yeah. But yeah, no. So getting into some shout outs. This one is a big one, guys. Just plain and simple. Big Tucker Lepley. He is doing a community charity event with Grandma's Pantry, and it's called Tuxie's World, aka A Morning with Tucker. This is an event inspired by Tucker Lepley's upbringing, and Grandma's Pantry opens for the Angelino community. That's been part of his journey, and Tucker, I guess, grew up in a family that kind of shared that formative time around a dinner table or like a table that you can share meals around. And that his family has always been his support system. We've been lucky enough to meet his pop, who's a fantastic guy. And it really shows when you have that support system that Tucker's talking about in this post here. So for one day only, they're rolling out all the stops. I mean, they're going to feed you with the menu of $6 items, which is a nod to the 6 championships of your LA Galaxy, of course, and the 6 Lepley siblings, I believe. And this is going down on 3/28/26 from 8 to 3 p.m. at Trademark Brewing in Long Beach. And that's at 233 East Anaheim Street. There's going to be raffles where you can win a game-worn signed jersey, game day tickets, Trademark Brewing merchandise, and of course, Tucker is going to be signing stuff throughout the morning as well. This event is going to be supporting other parts of the community. Portions of the proceeds will support Live, which is a local nonprofit dedicated to providing children in the community with life-lasting experiences, opportunities, and support. And all leftover food will be donated to a food bank. So I really don't see the like how they say pros and cons. I really don't see the con here. The menu is, I don't know if you have the menu, Ananda, but it looked absolutely fire.
I was gonna call it out right now, guys. There is the Tuxie Special. These are all for $6, by the way. So coffees, there are 3 types of coffees. The Tuxie Special, Mexican chocolate, flat white, almond milk, and cacao nib. Then they have the strawberry matcha, which is pretty self-explanatory. The Queen City Chill, which is an ice cold brew with cereal milk foam top. Sounds delicious. And then the food, 6 SIB sliders. That's egg, American cheese, chipotle aioli on a Hawaiian roll. Erm's Triple B, shout out Erm. Bacon breakfast burrito, chipotle aioli, potato, and American cheese. Derek's Danish, which is an egg, spinach, feta, and chipotle aioli. And Casey's banana bread with chocolate, caramel, and pecan. And Granddaddy's Donuts with powdered sugar.
Donuts.
Always on deck. Compliments of a
Always
lovely
on
household. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, y'all know
for sure. We're gonna make it for sure.
I mean, yeah, no. I mean, we got to pull up, but I mean, Marvin says that's dope. Like him even more now. Yeah, same. I mean, y'all know we have a lot of love for Tucker. I mean, we always talk about he's a dog on the field. I mean, he just that engine is crazy. Just a couple of shows ago, we were like, "Where is Tucker? Give us Tucker." Crazy to make the bench, by the way. But anyway, I mean, this just again makes me like him even more now that he's out there and he's working for his community, man. I mean, it's great to see. I mean, people sometimes have a platform and they don't use it for good, and we're getting to see somebody use it for good in real time, which is beautiful. And yeah, like Ananda said, hopefully we see you guys out there, and of course you guys are going to see Tucker out there. So if you guys see us, come get a sticker, and we would love to say hi. And moving right along here, there is Galaxy Night at the Kings. The Kings take on the St. Louis Blues on April 1st at 6 p.m. That's April Fool's Day. So go ahead and get with your fellow G's at the ice and cheer on your Kings. Go Kings, go. I remember that one time we went to the hockey game, man, and they were not ready for a bunch of soccer fans singing chants at the hockey game, and people were getting kind of quite upset about it, but everybody had a great time. Joe Tutino has a new show. The Galaxy and Fox 11 Plus are launching Spotlight LA Galaxy, and it's going down twice a week. Bi-weekly. It's a studio show voiced by none other the legendary voice of the Galaxy, Joe Tutino, that airs every other Thursday. And of course, he is going to bring you his trademark style with exclusive access, interviews, his expert analysis and insight, and of course, just all the wonderful stories that he has in his arsenal. And it's going to be a banger of a show. I can't wait. The first one already aired. There's going to be 12 episodes of this, and the first one aired on the 19th at 7:30. And there's also another Galaxy content offering. They will be doing replays of the most recent Galaxy game every other Thursday that Joe's show isn't playing, and that'll be going down from 5:30 to 8 p.m. Like I said, every other Thursday as well. So go ahead and check those out on Fox 11 Plus, which I believe is like 13, I believe, in some places. Anyway, you got to check your own, provider or whoever. Yeah, exactly. Or if you guys, pirate, cable or whatever, you got to, check whatever little guides you have and stuff. So, guys, we're inching ever closer to Landon Donovan bobblehead day. The 4th is really just a celebration of Landon. I mean, there's going to be, Ananda, we get to go interview him before the match. He's going to be talking about his book, and so we get to go pepper him with questions. But you guys get to come up on the Landon Donovan bobblehead. 15,000 of these will be given away at the April 4th match versus Minnesota, and 500 will have a American flag which Landon has draped over him. Of course, he was Captain America for quite a while, so he has this flag displayed proudly behind him, America. And again, 15,000 of these only. So if you want one, get there early, be on time. Don't get salty if you don't get one if you get there late. Ya los conozco. All right, so just a word to the wise. And again, there's only 500 of the American flag ones, guys. So you gotta just make sure and get there. Guys, moving on to VCFC news. excuse me, I'm getting all emotional because they just pulled out a win in penalties after ending 0-0 in regulation. This one ends 8-7 in penalties for VCFC. And now that result, if I can go ahead and get to the table quick enough, that result leaves them in 6th on 7 points after 4 games played, and with a 1-2-1 record. They play Tacoma Defiance on the road next on Sunday, March 29th at 8 p.m. And honestly, this is kind of it could be the beginning of somebody's life-changing moment, and I hope it is, and I hope they hear it here. VCFC, Ananda, is having open tryouts for male players ages 17 to 25. The MLS Next Pro tryout will provide local players the opportunity to showcase their talents and potentially be discovered by the LA Galaxy organization. So I mean, you can start at VCFC potentially and make your way to the first team if you're good enough. This is happening June 11th and 12th at the Galaxy Sports Complex in Torrance. For additional questions, please contact W Meadows, MEADOWS at LAGalaxy.com. I don't want to hear none about, me jodí la rodilla, like, mijo, I could have been great, but I messed up my knee. Nah, like, if you're down, you're going to be out there and you're going to try out. Go ahead, like I said, and tell us if you actually go out there. If you actually go out there, hit us up. We want to hear about the experience. Team news now, Ananda. We do know through our colleague reporting that Jakub Lesnes, or the extent of Jakub Lesnes' injury, has been confirmed by Josh Pato-Gessman, aka the best tradesman I know, that Jakub Lesnes does have a grade 2 calf strain that is MRI confirmed, and he is now likely out from 4 to 6 weeks. So it'll be a good time for Justin Hack to bet in that center back line for Emilio Garces to get back into form, and Maya Yoshida to do the same. Yeah. So Jakub Lesnes out for 4 to 6 weeks.
The disheartening thing about this, though, Papa, we will not have him for the 2 legs against Toluca. That's huge. That's a huge.
Yeah, that is a huge. And did you hear how it happened?
In training, right?
Yeah, and what's crazy is that they were careful with him, and just freaking in training, and happens, man. So anyway, yeah, you actually called out the Toluca thing, and I hadn't actually clocked to that. That is huge.
That's huge.
But
hopefully that means Hack and Emmy and Maya have to step up. I mean, this is done by committee now, and it's. I mean, look, we played with Toluca last year with a partnership of what was it, Maya and Rindolph? I can't remember the partnership now in that game. So, again, if the Galaxy put in the right application with the right game plan, I mean, we've seen crazier things happen in the sport, but man, a lot needs to happen from now until then. So that's going to be, we'll preview that in a couple of weeks, but that's going to be a super uphill battle.
Yeah, we'll preview it. By then, Joseph will be back. That'll be great. And
yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Man, hopefully they like you said, they squeak it out, and then they can get him back for the round after that. But Toluca first. But before that, everything else. So, hey, it's El Primo. Party Primo? People, indeed. Let's get it. G's were called up recently. Y'all thought Landon was draping the flag proudly, like, look at these young lads right here. Harbor Miller, Ruben Ramos Jr., Jose Pepe Magana have been named to the U.S. 19 men's national team roster for their training camp in Alicante, Spain. Harbor did let us know post Mount Pleasant that was going to be going on for these gentlemen, and now they get to go reap the fruits of their good play. It's been actually the Galaxy have really no one in the national team setup right now So it's kind of gratifying to see these young guys being in the national team setup. Riley Delgado, who I believe scored the winning penalty in that VCFC game, if I'm not mistaken, he is going to be with the U20s in Buenos Aires, Argentina. So congratulations to those lads. All 4 players are products of the LA Galaxy Academy, of course. So we've talked to Greg a couple of times, and he said he's really excited about the crop of players coming up, especially the 07s. He always keeps referencing the 07s, Ananda. He says that is the first class that they're truly excited about. Anyway, moving right along, Axel Asenye gets loaned out to Luton United in the USL. The 22 defender moves for the rest of this season, and the Galaxy have the right to recall him from his loan at any time. So congratulations to him. That hopefully means more playing time for him. And we've mentioned Tuluca a couple times already. The Champions Cup quarterfinal fixtures have been announced. The Galaxy will play first leg at El Estadio Nemesio Diaz in Toluca, Mexico, on Wednesday, April 8th, 2026. And then the return leg will be at the Digs on Wednesday, April 15th at 6 p.m. So this is going to be another early one. Again, dile a tu jefe, tell whoever you got to tell, like, hey, I'm taking a half day. I'm getting down to the stadium. I got things to do. I gotta go be with my family, right? So pull up. It's at 6. And again, remember, the way this one worked out is the highest ranked club in each matchup does host the decisive second leg, and in this case, that was the Galaxy. And if you're wondering why there's no LA Galaxy game this weekend, it's because of the international window. There's going to be a lot of friendlies going on out there, a lot of tune-ups for the World Cup. Of course, Ananda will be watching Spain. Serbia will be taking on Serbia and Spain will be facing off on the 27th, and then Spain will be going at it with Egypt on the 31st. Your U.S. men's national team plays Belgium on the 28th and then faces Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal on the 31st. And mi Ecuador, mi lindo Ecuador, juega con Marruecos el 27, and then Países Bajos, the Netherlands, on the 31st. This is that Morocco game is going to be a good test for Ecuador, Ananda. I'm really excited about that game, man.
Yeah, it should be good. The newly minted African champions, right?
Yes,
that was a crazy.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah. I mean, man, that's one for Lacuna After Dark right there for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is a crazy story. Another crazy story that we never thought we'd get to tell is that in the wake of MLS's announcement that they are moving to the world's schedule, they're accommodating everything with a MLS mini season that they are calling the sprint season, aka the Sprinty. I don't know, Ananda, is that one going to catch on? I mean, I've tried for like 2 years to get Willy Roll to catch on. It hasn't happened, but I mean, I'm going to start calling this the Sprinty, and hopefully, people are like, that's stupid. I might say it. Anyway,
Godspeed.
the Sprinty. Anyway, so Major League Soccer announced the details of the 2027 MLS Sprint season, aka the Sprinty. That's the official MLS season that's going to launch MLS's transition to the summer to spring calendar, and this is going to be just like it says, a short sprint. All MLS teams will compete in 14 interconference regular season games from February to April, and each team will play its 14 conference opponents one time, and they will only play an opponent from the other conference if they make the final. All teams will play 7 home games and 7 away games in the regular season, and the The sprint will culminate in the playoffs, obviously, and MLS Cup in May. 2028 Leagues Cup qualification will be determined by the sprint season as well as the Champions Cup qualification. 5 Champions Cup berths will be determined by the sprint season, and 18 teams will qualify for the Leagues Cup, 9 from each conference. At the conclusion of the regular season, the top 8 teams in each of the 2 conferences will qualify for the playoffs, and in each conference, the postseason will be played in a single elimination bracket format to determine the conference champion. So no, 3 games in the first leg or anything like that. Nope. This is going to be a single elimination bracket format, and then it'll culminate in an Eastern Conference champion versus Western Conference champion. East meets West for a one-off, and for the 2027 MLS Cup. I guess I should say presented by Audi or something like that, because it's in all the branding. But anyway, what do you think about that, Ananda? What do you think about the sprint rules?
Well, I'm just glad they got. Someone said in the chat, I'm just glad they got rid of these 3-game playoff series opening round, and I hope they do that. I hope that carries over into the actual season, the 27-28 season. So yeah, I mean, they had to do it. They had to accommodate this somehow for the new rules to kick in, or the new schedule starts. So I'm good with it, man. I'm good.
Ananda, I hate to break your heart. You've been after this one for a long time. You wanted a Grizzy to the Galaxy, but I'm sorry, it is not happening. Yeah, I'm sorry. That is the sad news right there. Tom Bogert, as usual, behind the news here. He's traveling to, and he is Griezmann, traveling to finalize a summer transfer to Orlando City from Atletico Madrid. And congratulations to Orlando, who get a big player and make a big splash here. Griezmann will wear the number 7. So congratulations to him. He's going to have a good time down there. Ananda, another player that I know you have talked about a couple times and you have kind of like a thing for, Santi Moreno, ex-Portland Timber. He's coming back to MLS from Fluminense, but he's going back to FC Dallas. And Moreno, 25, made 146 appearances with Portland before becoming disenchanted with the Timbers and leaving, and now he's back. So FC Dallas putting together kind of a good team over there. Like, imagine him running alongside Peter Musa, man. That's going to be a pretty potent little twosome right there.
Dallas hasn't been too shabby this year, so we'll see him in April.
Ooh, yeah. When everything comes back. Well, Ananda, are you ready for your MLS Matchday 5 rundown?
Dale, bro.
Let's get it. MLS Matchday 5 rundown. Toronto FC continued their resurgence with a 2-1 home win over the Crew, while Nashville continued its great week and piled more misery on the Lions with the 5-0 win at home. Charlotte also threw a party at home as they thrashed the Red Bulls 6-1. The Galaxy knows all about that. FC Dallas outlasted Houston 4-3 in an all-Texas Derby affair, with Peter Musa making himself the starring man with an 86-minute game-winning goal. And the Colorado Rapids hit another 4-1 scoreline, this time over SKC on the road. St. Louis dispatched the Reus at home, and that was capped off by a glorious Marcel Hartel chip. Just a lovely goal. I recommend everybody check that one out. San Jose got back in the win column by beating the Vancouver Whitecaps with the 1-0 shutout, and LAFC broke a record for shutouts at the beginning of the season in their scoreless draw with Austin. Another 4-3 was played out, this time in Cincinnati, as FC Cincinnati beat Montreal 4-3 with an injury time Kevin Denke winner. Inter Miami bounced back from CONCACAF Champions Cup elimination with a well-earned 3-2 away win over NYCFC and a trademark Messi free kick, and 2 draws wrapped this up versus a scoreless match in Minnesota between MNUFC and Seattle, and San Diego and RSL played to a 2-goal stalemate in San Diego. Now you have 3 teams unbeaten left in MLS: LAFC, San Diego, and Nashville, and your conference leaders are Nashville and LAFC. And that, Ananda, was your MLS Match Day 5 roundup.
Very well done, sir. Very well done.
Let's get it.
Yeah. You should hit up Andrew Weeby, like, hey Weeby, maybe I can help you guys do a little roundup. Yeah.
Hey, let's get it. I mean,
come on the show.
I was about to say first we got to get Weeby on the show. We got to get Weeby on the damn show first, man.
Yeah.
We got to get Weeby on the show. I mean, honestly, I'm still working on some heavies for you guys, and hopefully they pan out. Hopefully. Anyway, but Ananda, it is time to get into this match recap. There's a couple of things to talk about, but you know how we do. First thing is first, we talk about the lineup. What did you see in this one?
Yeah, well, let's read it for the audio listeners in case you guys were living under a rock or did not want to watch the game, which honestly, probably more power to you in that case.
Yeah, more power to you.
So starting 11 here, JT Marcinkowski in goal. We might talk about that. Julian Aude, Emilio Garces, Justin Hack, and Mickey Yamane as your back four. A midfield trio of Serio, Winder, and Reus. So Lucas Sanabria on the bench. Eric Tommy at left wing, Gabriel Peck at right wing, and of course the big man, Joao Klaus at number 9. Yeah, I mean, look, couple things, right? So we talked about JT Armicho. We talked about you prefaced it a little bit ago with the comments that Greg has been making really outwardly in the post match about Micho, and I had a feeling about this,
flagrant,
and it ended up being true. Now it's going to be interesting to see now what the series of decisions are from now on. We can touch on Marcinkowski's performance a little bit too. We talk about some of these talking points. Again, Sanabria. I think when we were on that instant reaction, I think you three were right and I was completely wrong, and Greg switched him out again for Marco Reus. Yeah. And so just the continuity of that midfield three that I think has been successful. That's one of the things I think we can maybe poke at or criticize Vanny for. And I think that's fair game in this particular case.
Absolutely. But you know what? It's like I told you the other day, if Reus is available, look for him to play over Sanabria. It's just like Greg loves him too much. He loves the control that Reus brings at the expense of energy and speed in the midfield. That's just how it is.
Yeah, anyways, I got a thought about that. Maybe we'll bring it up later. I'll earmark it. But what else, Pa? So Amira and Hawk with the partnership. There. I thought Justin Hawk had a better. I think his last 2 games have been a lot better. I've seen a couple things from him. I think I do like him better as a center back, at least in this system. There's a couple forward passes that he made. I was like, ooh, okay, that's the Justin Hawk I want to see. And then of course, on the left wing there, we talked about Tommy and Miller. That's kind of a toss up. It just depends. Like, do you want to go for youth and speed? Do you want to go for a little more control? Eric Tommy's not slow, but he's a different type of player than Harbor Miller. We talked about that adjective that we use with Harbor, brave, right?
Brave.
Yeah. And of course, this guy, Marco Reus at the number 10, who is becoming like a very polarizing figure, I would say, amongst the fan base. And so that's because of that reason, he is going to be our player spotlight today, because I've gotten so many different perspectives on Reus. And the funny thing too, it's not even the fans, just the fans. I'm gonna pull up this rating already, but even data statistics websites are also very polarized on Reus. On the left there, on the top left, you see FotMob had him as an 8.2, and SofaScore had him as a 6.3. So there you go.
Oh, bro, I just remember when I interviewed Michele Giannone. Shout out Michele. También venite at show. Come on, man. It's been too long. You got to come to the show. But man, Michele savaged him. He was like, bro, he should not be seeing the field for the Galaxy. Like, I was just like, God damn. Shameless plug. That is in the back catalog. You guys can go check it out. You guys can go ahead, hit like and subscribe. Y'all know what to do. Anyway, go ahead and hit up this player spotlight.
Well, I was going to say, how we do these analyses. We got to start with the data, right? So again, you guys can interpret the data however you want, and I'm sure there's 2 sides to interpreting the data, right? The good and the bad. So Marco Reus had 63 touches, 46 out of 54 passes at an 85% pass accuracy. He had 6 passes into the final third. He created a team high 7 chances, so 7 key passes. That's what you want Marco Reus in there for, is to create the chances. Unfortunately, only one of them was an assist, and it led to the goal, right, out of those 7. But again, that's what you want him. That's what he's in the team for. Like, if nothing else, he's in the team to create chances and to put guys in position to score. But on the flip side, he only had 3 touches in the opposition box. Again, 1 was that assist. So he needs to get in that. He needs to find his ways, not only on the outs, on the fringes of the box, but he's got to get in the box to actually be deadly. And here's the one that's like, when I saw this, I was like, should I be as mad about this as I am? He didn't take 1 shot. Not one. Not even a shot on goal. Just one shot. Like you I don't think
that's all his fault though.
You've got to keep defenders on the back foot, and if you see like an opening, you've got to take it, right? Like, I know he wants to make the extra pass. And by the way, like, maybe that's like the whole like LeBron James thing, right? Like, he likes passing before he likes to take the shot himself. Maybe that's cool, but like for someone of his quality, like, his only shots or shots on target should not be free kicks, right? It should, like, we need to somehow, like, he needs to get defenders off guard and be like, okay, is he going to pass? Like, because if they know that he's going to pass, they're going to play for that passing lane every single time. They're going to cut out that pass, right? So it's either like fake pass, drag it on your, do a little ball roll, drag it on your left and hit the shot, or something to that effect, right? So again, I'm going to pull up the heat map, pass map that he did. One of the things I noticed about his heat map that I didn't like as much, and this is one of those things where when you're playing against a low block and you're struggling to break down 2 banks of 4, or basically two banks of 4, like 10, basically you're playing against 10 men in their own half. Like, you see that on the right-hand side, there's a little bit of red. In the second half, you saw him having to drop deep to receive the ball, a la Ricky, a la Diego Fagundes, even last year, right? They played sort of that quarterbacking role, but it's like, I'm not sure I want Marco there. Like, I'm not sure I want, like, my most technical players receiving the ball deep, unless, like, I know Ricky liked to do that a lot. And I remember we had that conversation with him too. Like, ooh, should he be receiving that? But like, I don't know, like, Ricky actually like takes the ball and he drives through the middle with speed. Like, he makes things happen more often than not. Sometimes he doesn't make a good decision either, but I mean, I don't know. Like, I just feel like I'd like to see Reus where the darker red is, like, more sort of in those half spaces, because he likes playing those 1-2s. Like, he doesn't really beat a lot of men off the dribble in this stage of his career. So he relies more on trickery, more on spacing, more on creating spacing for others. So that's one thing. And then you look at the pass map there on the right. Again, a lot of passes in sort of that middle part of the pitch, sideways and backwards. Like, I want to see Marco hitting those through balls, like getting those chances created, right? 7 chances created. So this is the data, right? And like, I've seen like, I've seen people like, what's maybe it was 10 against 10 because Marco's on the field. Like, I've seen some like crazy takes out there, like in both, not crazy, but like polarizing.
They went in like that.
They went in deep, but like polarizing in both ways.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, like, I mean, maybe I'm going to sit on the fence on this, but I'm kind of in between. It's like Marco Reus is there to create chances and to kind of sit in between the lines. Like, I don't know. He's not going to roam around and tackle and all that stuff. So then it becomes like a selection issue. Like, to me, it's more about that. It's more about the midfield 3 and the chemistry and the selection versus the player itself. Cause the dude created 7 chances. I mean, that's what you want. Right. So what do you think?
What is the team for?
Yeah, I've been waffling here the last 2 minutes, just kind of giving the data. What say you?
No, I mean, I looked at the data too, and I was like, hey, I mean, I saw that immediately as well. 7 chances created. That's what you want. I as well agree that you don't want him dropping so deep. He needs to be further up. That's why you have Winder. That's why you have Cerrillo. They need to be able to advance that ball a little bit better. I do think it is a problem that he didn't take 1 shot, but again, I don't think that's all him. Greg called out the team for not wanting to make the extra pass and like reward Marco with getting into a good area and being where he needed to be. So I mean, Greg telling it how it is. I mean, he just basically calling the team out on that kind of stuff. Like, hey, he's in the spot. You got to pass it to him. But yeah, I mean, he had a good performance. Again, he's in the team to play how we played. And we you might bring it up a little bit later, but like I said, I mean, he has a particular skill set. He's not going to be like super energetic. Like you said, he's not going to beat his man, but what he is going to do is he's going to control the tempo of the game for you, for better or for worse. So I mean,
Yeah.
even if that tempo isn't as fast as you want it to be.
I just want to see that midfield three play a little bit more, like the one that we've been calling out for, right with Sanabria, because I was trying to like maybe analyze it through this lens. Like, when the Galaxy were successful in 2024, you had a midfield of Edwin Cerillo, Mark Delgado, and Ricky Puig, right? So we still have Edwin Cerillo. To me, Sanabria is that Mark Delgado. Like what Mark Delgado does, like having like 3 lungs and all that, like with the energy. We've seen that Sanabria has the ability to play a forward ball when he needs to, right? Like against Mount Pleasant. He's got that tackling ability, that dueling capacity. He's starting to grow into sort of that cerebral part of the game that Mark was always good at, being in the right positions, but he just covers a lot of ground. That's like a huge similarity to to Mark. So then what we can't replace, or what we haven't been able to replace, and I don't blame him, is Ricky Puig, right? It's like, so we need a player that, I mean, Ricky Puig is 1 of 1, but like has the same abilities and attributes as Ricky. So being really good on the half turn, like being able to dribble and beat and drive past people, right? And make quick decisions with the ball and speed up tempo. Like Greg always uses the term like going into the final third with speed, but right now it's labored, it's slow. It's been that way. It's really been that way ever since the beginning of the season. So it's like, what is the solve for that? Do we have that solve in this team? Like he's tried it with Winder, he's trying it with Reus, but they're very different players. So I don't know if that means that, like, from a personnel standpoint, we need to go back to the drawing board and find that type of player, or I don't know. Like, and again, this is like a wild shot. Like, do you give a guy like maybe like Tucker Lepley, who has like a little bit more dribbling ability? And like, I don't know. Like, is there someone in the team, in the roster, that can do that? Right? They won't be Ricky 1-1, but they might give you similar attributes. Like right now, other than Gabriel Peck and maybe Joseph, but like we don't have a lot of players that can beat their man 1v1, Pa. Right. And when you're playing against a low block, you need that unpredictability. You need guys to beat guys off the dribble, so that it unlocks the defense. It moves the defense apart. It picks them apart. Like one guy's beat, the other guy's got to cover, and people move, and now the spaces are created. Right. And this is the big problem with this team right now, is against low blocks. Like we're just passing to feet. There's no unpredictability.
Exactly.
And that's it. And I will talk about that a little bit later, but it's just like, we haven't been able to, in the last year and change, like to find that unlock or to find that replacement that, that Ricky gives us. And you'll never find a replacement for Ricky, like I said, but it's just the attributes. It's the things that are missing. And this is why it's not fully there yet. And it's not an easy thing, man. It's not an easy thing. I think this is still going to continue to happen.
Well, let's hit up this super chat that we got from El Primo Matthew at Comets96. What up? It says, what does everybody think of Tommy so far? Too early to judge. Yeah, I think so. Too early to judge. I mean, I will tell you this. After his first game, he plainly straight up told us, I didn't feel great out there. I know that I still need to like get up to speed and still get he's like he said I'm still going through a couple things, and so but saying that, with each successive game I've seen him improve more and more and like bet into the team more and more. Jury's still out. We've only had him for what, 3 games, 4 max, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, encouraging signs so far. I mean, he definitely gets involved in the attack, which I like. Now I think eventually, I mean, Joseph will come back, but I think he also should be that viable option as a 10. if they get a chance to run him there.
He's a guy that I feel like can inject some pace in that midfield, like through the middle. Because I've seen him from the wing position do that. So maybe Greg should try him out at 10 or like somewhere in the middle, like 8/10 kind of thing. Again, I don't know if he can do that for 90 minutes per se, but I'd like to see it. Because again, like we're trying to find answers still, right? Trying to find solutions. We've got another super chat here, Papa, from Adam. Thank you, sir.
Gracias.
I know you guys might have went over this. But will there be a firing of any of the season? Although I doubt it, especially after last year's extension. Well, I doubt it too. We talked about it though earlier in the season. Like if they're like miring in like non-playoff territory with 10 games to go, I think the board has to take action at that point, in my opinion. But it's got to get to that dire state.
Yeah, I agree. However, what is it that I've been telling you? Every single time. Like I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to give you what I would do. I'm going to give you what Greg will do. Well, I'm going to tell you what I think the Galaxy would do, and I don't think they're going to fire him, man. I mean, like I think they have a plan, like for better or worse, and not only that, like they need to get past the midpoint of the season and kind of retool. We've always known they were going to kind of reassess their options for personnel after the World Cup, right? So at that point, like there definitely needs to be a reckoning and alarm bells if the situation continues to be as is and the Galaxy continues not to be able to pick up victories. But I honestly, again, think that they have a plan and they're going for it, and I don't think it's going to happen this year, guys. Just putting it out there, and don't shoot the messenger. It's not like I'm saying I don't want it to happen or I'm for it or against it. I have no opinion either way right now, right? I said there's alarm bells, and there should be an examination of what's going on, and certainly like everybody sees the deficiencies right now. But again, I don't think it's going to happen, Adam. I'm sorry, man.
Well, like I said, I can't say anything because I think conversations will be had if, like I said, the Galaxy don't make the playoffs this year, or if there's like 5 games to go and the Galaxy mathematically can't make the playoffs, Papa. Like, I mean, it has to be the case. Like, I can't see that like Will Kuntz in the front office not having at least entertaining a conversation about it, because I mean the remit for this team is to be competitive, like, and make the playoffs, and actually should be win. If you ask the fans, right, should be competitive, like contenders, perennial contenders. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. But like I said, too early to say anything, and we'll see how Toluca goes, and then we'll see how this next stretch of games go as well in April and May. So.
You're getting some praise in chat, and I know that your kit collection is insane.
Oh, thanks, Dylan. It's Big Dylan. There you go.
Yeah, no, I know, man.
Not as sick as your US kit that you showed off last time, Dylan, with Mad Drip. So shout out to you, sir. Anyways, Pa, you want to tell people how these people went in case they missed the game and live under a rock? Which,
I mean, yeah, I mean, you probably were better served not watching, because like we mentioned, it was a little frustrating for Galaxy fans, because in this one, the Galaxy had every possible chance to pick up these 3 points. It did not start well for the Galaxy. They conceded an early goal after Anthony and Christopher Velde combined in the 13th minute. But then they were handed that golden ticket. Timber center back Kamal Miller was sent off with a direct red card for a challenge on João Klaus in the 20th minute, and a lot of people were saying it was soft, this and that. He definitely goes in on the back of his ankle and his Achilles, so that could have led to an injury. So I mean, it could have been soft, but it also could have led to an injury. So I'm just going to put that one out there. Klaus himself would tie the score in the 30th after he linked up with Marco Reus. Marco Reus, again, when he's up there in advanced and in those advanced attacking positions, good things happen. He hooks up Klaus with a pretty back heel for Klaus to tuck home. I believe that is now his 5th in the league. And from there, you thought, hey, it's 30 minutes in. They actually have 60 more minutes to find a winner. Try as they might, they could not, even though they had that extra man, and even though they forced Portland's keeper Pandemis into several good saves, they full-time whistle ends with a 1-1 scoreline. The only thing I can say about this one is, that João Klaus continued his strong run of form, but as well, one thing that we were talking about in one of our group chats, Anana, the wingmen group chat, is, has anybody else scored for the Galaxy? Somebody questioned that in that group chat, and we had to say Sanabria. But if you really look at it, like, yeah, I mean, it's been Klaus pretty much and little else. So anyway, that was your game recap, guys. I mean, we're probably you're probably better served that if you didn't watch it. But yeah, man, we've already called it out a couple times, and out of that low block continues to defeat the Galaxy. There's been no plan B so far. If you had to guess, man, like what do they actually need to beat that low block?
I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit later, like just composure, a little bit of luck. Honestly, sometimes you just need the ball the goal to go in the back of the net to get confidence. That's another key thing here. Like the Galaxy are not informed. Like, Papa, you look at that lineup. How many guys would you say out of that lineup are in form? To me, it's only one person. João Klaus. That's it. And even he has struggled to put away some chances. Like there was a couple chances in this game. I think he could have bagged maybe a brace or a hat trick in this game as well. But you're over reliant on one guy because only one guy is in form. Gabriel Peck is in form if we're talking about the CCC. But again, you can argue that the level of competition in CCC has not been stiff up to that point. But now you are going to get stiff competition in Toluca. So again, that's another way to look at this, right? It's like no one's in form. No one's in form right now, and that's troubling, I would say.
Ananda, you like to bring us one key stat from the match. What do you got for us this week?
Yeah, well, let me pull up the final box score real quick, because again, on paper, we should have if no one watched this game, and we're lucky not to. You would have said, oh, the Galaxy probably won this 2-1, right? Because that's what it says in the expected goals. If you look at the bottom, 2.1 LA Galaxy to 1, but the scoreline at the end was a 1-1 draw with the Galaxy with most of the possession, 63-38. 20 shots on goal 20 shots to Portland's 9, 7 of ours on target to Portland's 3. But again, like you had 20 shots, 7 on target, but only one big chance. And if I think about when we covered that 2024 season, and I always pulled up those tables from FOTMob, if you recall that season, the Galaxy were always in the top 1-2 in big chances created. And big chances created means you're creating a high volume of clear-cut chances. We haven't said that a lot this year. Like the Galaxy created a clear-cut chance, right? Especially in the league. We need to create more clear-cut chances like we did. I remember that Sanabria pass against Mount Pleasant in Jamaica to Gabriel Peck, and he was clean through 1v1 against the keeper. All he had to do was just slide rule it home, back of the net, right? And we haven't had a lot of those. So the question is like now against a low block, like how do you create more of those opportunities? But on the flip side, it's like, how do you catch teams out like we did against Charlotte when they rush guys a little bit up and you catch them on a semi-transition and use the speed of your wingers, right? So chance creation, like there's got to be a way that we need to do this. And again, I look at the big chances this year, Pa. You look at teams like Nashville and Vancouver, they have double the amount of big chances as the LA Galaxy, whereas the Galaxy in 2024, they were leading the pack on that. Like they were averaging like 4 or 5 big chances a game. I remember we covered games where I was looking at the stat sheet. I was like, whoa, the Galaxy created like 7, 8, 9 big chances. And that's why we ran up the score a lot in that particular season as well. But unfortunately, this season, we're not creating enough of those big chances, and we continue to waste those opportunities, Pa. We continue to waste those opportunities.
Don't we ever? Now it's 3 out of 5 league games that Galaxy have lost points. I mean, I don't know if I want to say foolishly, but they've contrived to basically give those points away. I mean, Amito, then you have Gabriel Peck with the red, then you have them not taking advantage of a red. And like I said, don't take it from me, but take it directly from Greg. He said it was a huge opportunity lost. Edwin also said it plain as day. He said it was a wasted opportunity. So really, and I said it at the top of the show, like I feel like it is sad for Hours because they should have gotten 3 points here. So when people go, it is a point earned, they did get a tie in a place they don't do really well. Sure, it is a point earned, but it's also 2 points lost. It is definitely 2 points lost. They know it. They called it out. And Ananda, you actually with your stats have the XG for the last 2 matches.
Yeah, well, it's like I was saying. You look at that stat sheet, right? Against Portland, it should have been a 2-1 game, 2-0 game Galaxy, but it ended up being 1-1. And then you look at the SKC game, but Galaxy had 2.03 XG versus SKC's 0.73. So you're saying, okay, Galaxy 2-1 win, but in fact, it was the opposite. It was SKC 2-1, right? And I said it before. I made this comment last pod, which is sometimes it's about just how good are you in both boxes. And right now, the Galaxy, unfortunately, are just it's fine margins, but we're not elite in the opposition box. And right now, even neither in our own box. I'll say one thing, Tupa, even though like I was kind of getting called out for the JT and Mitrovic thing. I think JT should have saved that first goal. If I'm honest with you, I think he should have. The angle was cut out. Granted the shooter, the goal scorer went across the box, and it was a really really well placed shot. So he didn't give up the near post, but I don't know. I like Pantemis makes those big saves. Like we need our keepers to help us make big saves too, especially in those situations. But that's just my
I'm gonna
opinion.
have to watch it back. I'm gonna have to watch it back. Yeah, maybe. But what I saw, like I was like, all right, like it's not JT's fault on that one. But yeah, maybe I'll watch that one back and I'll report back to you on that one.
I'm fair. Like if I'm being critical, I'm gonna be fair. Like I think because even in the final stats, like Pantemis prevented almost 2 goals, like negative, or he had like a 1.7 post shot XG, and JT had minus 0.74 because he only faced 2 shots and let 1 goal go in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, not got stats for the Galaxy keepers, but man, on the flip side, I mean, yes, JT lets the goal go by, but again, the Galaxy's offense goes missing. Greg just not happy with what he saw. He went on a sermon of sorts, and just to give you an illustration of just the Galaxy being impatient or not making the extra pass and going around and around in that U shape. Klaus had just 35 touches, Ananda. Again, for the man that's
better than 7, like that one game. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, for a man that's been in such good form, to not get him involved more is this kind of criminal. Again, Greg goes on the sermon and I quote, when we get into the final action, it doesn't have to be me who makes the play. It has to be us who makes the play. And it has to be the best guy in the best position who has the best chance to help the team be successful. It doesn't need to be me. It needs to be about us. And I think that's a part of us becoming a team that takes these points and buries teams. It is about making the best decisions when we get into those final actions for the group to be successful. Sometimes it's also, I'm going to make this run hard to the near post. I know it isn't going to be for me, but I'm going to take this near post center back out of the way so that the next guy who shows up can finish too. So sometimes it's about sacrificing yourself on a run to create space for the next guy and recognizing that I'm the guy that needs to sacrifice myself in this situation to clear up a space for someone else to finish. And that's kind of what we've been talking about, man. Like no one's moving for each other, no one's playing for each other, and then you're getting bogged down, right? You're getting bogged down with just rocking that ball back and forth. What are you showing off the crest for, man?
Someone thought I was wearing a LAFC jersey. Pablo.
Oh no! Oh, never
Papa.
that. Oh, I
Come on,
don't think you would ever have Ananda doing that. I think that's one of those things that, like, I don't know if you've ever had this conversation with your Minister of Finance, Ananda, but we've actually had the conversation, like, all right, like, if I was kidnapped and like they made me call you and I had to say something to like have you know that, like, you know, despite what I say, like, I'm not okay or whatever, and I need help. And so, you know, like, that's basically it. Like, if I ever saw you in an LAFC kid, I'd be like, oh, that fool kidnapped. That fool kidnapped right now. I got to go help him. Bring in the National Guard. We need to go help Ananda. Let's ride.
Yeah, by the way, I was gifted a black and gold Arsenal kit from 2016 or whatever. This was like before LAFC even was around. Yeah, had to get that one go. Had to let that one go. Pa, really quick. I'm going to make an observation about this impatient thing, and maybe you can agree with me or not. Okay. I think this team has a serious case of Heroball. And it's something that we talked about with Ricky, like, and it's not one of those things where it's like I applaud the effort, like I applaud the desire to want to make things right and want to win, but you have to do it in a like very like calculated, methodical, and you have to do it as a team. And I agree with Greg on that point. It's like, you know, sometimes when we get into the final third, it's like I need to make this happen. Like Peck is a big culprit of this. I don't want to single anyone out because I feel like all of them do it. Like Mauricio Cuevas hasn't been on point this year. His crossing has, I don't know what's happened to the level or quality of his crossing, but it just hasn't been there this year. We've been overly reliant on Joao Klaus, right? Even like, you know, and that's why like Marco, like sometimes he has some really good dummies, some really good 1-2s. But I see him like with arms in the air like this, like to his guys, like, you know, and I don't know if that's I mean, I see the point of like, yeah, he should feel frustrated, but like, how do you like forget about throwing your arms in the air, like find a solution, right? Mm-hmm. You guys figure it out amongst yourselves. You guys are grown men and professionals, but I don't know, Pa, like, I feel like the Heroball syndrome is there with this team. And I don't know how to fix it. Like, if you're Greg, like, is it just simply time on the training pitch? Like you do 4v4 drills, like small field drills, and you do that and you build your confidence. Is it literally just that confidence? We need to see the ball in the back of the net. Is it tactics? I don't know. But from my eye test, I'm seeing this like Heroball syndrome because it's happening like quite a bit. Like the right decisions aren't being made. So
it's interesting as well because sometimes I see that, and then sometimes I see what Lex is talking about here in chat, where they're passing the ball back and forth for a little while. And I called it out on one of the other pods where there was several instances where they had the space, they had created the time advantage, they had won the space, and instead of driving forward with the ball, they passed it back or passed it to the side and negated that space. And I never, like, to this day, I'm still wondering why. Like, I mean, yeah, my wife must wonder like who I'm thinking about at night, you know, because I'm sitting there lying awake thinking about this system that I'm seeing played out in front of me that isn't, again, taking. Greg has talked about these time advantages and you know, taking the space and winning the space, and when they do, they don't take it. Incredibly frustrating. Frustrating.
And you know, Lex used the word selfish. I think I would change that to, we just need more brave players. Like we talked about that with Harbor Miller, like the bravery to say, okay, I'm going to try this like fizz, like 20-yard ball on the ground. I saw Justin Hack play a couple of those. I was like, ooh, I like that. Keep doing that. More of that, please.
Yeah. So that was the first time we've seen it.
And it was like a disguised pass. I love that disguised pass. It looks like you're going to go to the other side, like going to switch it, but then you do a disguised pass and it's like fizz on the ground, and you're going to trust your teammate. This is where this whole trust thing comes in, right? You're trusting your teammate trap it on a dime on the half turn and do something good with it. So what are you laughing at now? What are you laughing at?
Chat going in again. I love it. Joe 13 Cool says, dreaming of another coach, not another woman. I love you guys. You guys are great.
Anyways, yeah.
Well, I mean, we did already call out the kind of the goalkeeper thing. I don't know if I would call it a battle, but I would say there's maybe some brewing controversy. Not even controversy, but like a situation. I don't know. I don't know what you would call it, but in this one, JT starts over Mitrovic, and this is after Greg had called out Mitrovic twice in a very public way. After Mitrovic, made high-profile errors, and Ananda has already brought you stats that supported Mitrovic not having a good start to the season, and of course, JT has played in the Champions Cup where the Galaxy has been nothing but successful so far. So, I did ask Greg about this because ever since the CVI 2 years ago, we've been covering Ananda and I. We've been covering the goalkeeper situation with the Galaxy, and this is just another episode of that. Greg says, I went with JT. We've been alternating between them in the Cup and the League. I just felt like JT this week had gotten the repetitions in the midweek game. I felt like he would be a little sharper coming into this game just because on the road we didn't get to train a whole lot, and Novak didn't get to see much live action over the course of the week. And so I went with the keeper who had been in the mix this week and a little bit more. And so that was the main thing. I think JT has made good, sound decisions. I think he's got a good presence just because he's been a starter before. He's got a good presence. He made good decisions with the ball. We didn't have a ton to do just by virtue of how the game played itself out. And he didn't have a ton to do in the game down in Jamaica. But what he had to do, he did it. Unfortunately, today, we gave one up, but I felt like he did the rest well. Ananda, I, again, wouldn't be surprised if he starts the next game. I mean, he didn't show any. I mean, you say he possibly got far for this goal, but again, I'm going to have to watch your back. But apart from that, I don't think he's done anything wrong to warrant being dropped, really.
No, I like having said that with the shot stop, or he probably should have stopped it. I did like how commanding he was in the box. The next home game, I really want to pay attention to how he communicates with the back line. I think that was always one of the knocks on Mitrovic, like not enough of a presence. Like, goalkeepers, they're a different breed, right? They're their own class, man. And a lot of the good ones are really, really good communicators. They demand a lot of respect from their back line. So I want to see like the chemistry between JT and his back four. But look, the only thing I'm going to ask is let's be consistent, like sort of like this, like midfield three that we want to see. We want to see consistency. I think one of Dylan's themes from the instant reaction was, I want to see this consistency, right? We didn't see it this time in the midfield. So now let's see it with the goalkeeper. If you're going to make a decision, just, you're going to live or die by that decision, right? But just be consistent about it. Be brave about it. And I think that's all maybe some of us want to see, just to see, like, because backing and forthing, it's like you're discrediting your own decision. And I don't want to see that. Like, I want to see like these things play out when they should. So it'll be interesting.
Well, we have a big decision to make, and it's called defending the badge. Guys in chat, go ahead and let us know who you think was deserving of defending the badge this week. We have a couple of candidates to throw your way, but of course, you are welcome to nominate and shout out any Galaxy player that you think should be the winner of this week's defending the badge. We have a couple of candidates, like I mentioned. We have Klaus, Reus, Tommy, and Garces, and I'll break down the stat sheet here. Klaus had a goal, 1 chance created, 4 shots on target, 2 clearances, 1 recovery, 4 duels, 1, and he was fouled 3 times. Marquitos Reus had an assist, and that was for the second game running. 85% pass accuracy, 7 chances created, 1 interception, 5 recoveries. Eric Tommy beginning to bet in a little bit more. An impressive stat line here, Ananda. 93% pass accuracy, a chance created, a shot on goal, 4 passes into the final third, a tackle, 2 clearances, and interceptions, 7 recoveries, and here's the big one, 8 duels won, 8 out of 9 duels won, and then he was fouled 4 times. So not only was he winning those duels, but he was taking the hits as well. And then Amito Garces, 96% pass accuracy, 1 chance created, 2 tackles, 4 clearances, 4 recoveries, and 5 duels won. Ananda, we have a couple of shouts there in chat, but I'm interested to see who you think here. I mean, we have the gamut here, just calling Klaus right here, and yes, Potter misses the traveling fans for sure.
100%, 100%.
So we have Scott with Klaus, Lex with Klaus, Joe 13 Cool with Klaus, Buddy Matt with Klaus. Man, Pekka's MLS Saka, 90 pounds soaking wet. Dang. Man.
Actually, this year I'll agree with that. Yeah, he's been awful this year. Ever since he got back from injury. Anyways, less of that though. That's just gonna put me in a dark place, Lex. So
yeah, Lex, you're combining two great pains for Ananda at the moment.
Pain. Pain. Yeah, you know what? Bye. Like, well, let me hear yours. Is yours on the screen?
He is.
Okay.
I went with Garces, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Okay. The man's still playing a tad bit injured. Like that toe is
on
not.
Turf. Yeah.
The man is still playing just a bit injured on turf. That toe is not great yet, and he's still playing. He's putting in a shift, a pretty good shift, albeit. I just read you the stat line, and they don't get a shutout, but they only give up 1 goal. Of course, it's a totally different game because of the red card. Who knows what would have happened? But they did what they needed to do by, keeping the clean sheet for the rest of the match, a man up. He had been really slated after recent performances, especially after, the red card early in the season. So we needed a little bit of a bounce back. Hopefully this one was it. But, you just see the dedication of the badge here by playing injured and then putting in a great shift while doing it.
Okay. Mine's actually not on the screen. We actually have not talked about him all game long, but he quietly, sneakily had a really good game. And that's Edwin Cerillo. You look at the stat sheet, 96% pass accuracy. He had 110 touches. That's super influential, especially in that base of that midfield. He was basically a one-man pivot, right, for most of this game. He had actually a lot of really good switches, a lot of really good forward passes, and a lot of really good switches of play. And I just thought he was 8 recoveries, like a couple tackles. Like I just thought he was sneakily good. But more than anything, I think for me, like he was willing to talk to the reporters post-match, and I liked some of his quotes, and I know he's got that dog in him, so I know he like actually means it. He says, I think we're at a club where the standard is high, and we should hold ourselves to that high standard. MLS with missed opportunities, and then he goes on to say, every game the standard for us is to win, and every time we don't come out with something or don't come out winning, we're disappointed. But I think that's only going to help us, especially going forward. So I think he's saying the right things, and I know he's got the right mentality because we've seen it over the last couple of years. And like I said, he's had a quietly sneaky game, and just mad respect for telling it like it is and showing up to the reporters. So I'm going to give him the defending badge.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, mad respect to him for being one of the it looks like he's starting to step up to be one of the leaders on this team. I mean, last year he said that last year Greg said that he wanted to see that kind of continue to develop, and it looks like he's starting to do that. Ananda, after this 1-1 tie, forget how we feel emotionally about it. Let's look again at the data, where that leaves the Galaxy. After 5 matches played, they are still in 10th place out of the playoff spots. They are on 5 points with 1 point per game, 1-2-2 record, 7 goals for, 8 goals against, -1 goal differential, and tied on 5 points with Austin and Minnesota United. But their next match is a huge 6-pointer, Ananda, because coming up, the Galaxy have some time off because of the international break. But after the international break, their first game back will be against Minnesota United on Saturday, April 4th, that Landon Donovan game. And again, that is a huge 6-pointer. I know how you like your 6-pointers.
And it's an early one, but I just pulled up the April schedule, Bob. But look at that. 7 games in April. That's a lot of games, a lot of tough fixtures. This stretch of game, guys, I'm just gonna read it out for the audience.
That 11:30 Austin game, damn.
Home at Minnesota, body clock. Home against Minnesota, away to Toluca midweek, and then away to Austin on the weekend. Home to Toluca midweek, away back to Texas, away to Dallas, and then away to Columbus midweek, and then Salt Lake at home on the weekend. That is a brutal schedule, and this 7-game stretch, boy, the range of outcomes is pretty high on this one, right? Like you could see like a really bad outcome, or the Galaxy could pick up momentum and use Toluca as sort of like the spark. It's like this could go either way. I think this is going to be huge for some people. Said it in chat, like, do sort of the Vanny Bluebirds continue to be out there, and the 7-game stretch, boy, things can go sideways real fast. So the Galaxy really have to use this break and regroup and figure out some things on the training pitch, because that's one of the things that Greg said. He wants more time on the training pitch. Well, he's got it, because hardly any of his guys are going to the international break. They're going to be here training. So they need to use this wisely, because this stretch is, like I said, that's a brutal schedule. Brutal.
Yeah, and we have chat sounding off about it right now. I guess this is why they call him pessimistic, Pottermus, because he says 3 points for all April.
And where's that, Potter? Which 3 points? Where are we getting 3 points? Against RSL? Against Minnesota? Well, let me tell you this. That makes that Minnesota game really big. I think 3 points, there's no must wins, but for the momentum that you want to take into, especially the 2 legs and the Texas 2-step, Austin has never been a fun place. We know that firsthand, Pa. Dallas, some weird stuff happens at Dallas all the time. Like Texas teams, that Texas trip has never been kind to the Galaxy. So
nah, not at all. Yeah, April could be brutal. I mean, last year the Galaxy's season was over really early. I'm not saying that's going to happen this year, but we'll have, by that point, I mean, you're looking at a 7-game stretch that also includes the culmination of the first 10 games for the Galaxy season, right? So at that point, we should know exactly who we're looking at. We also talking about that quote from the video, right? The Bears were who we thought they were. Well, that's who the Galaxy are. They have a brutal 7-game stretch in April. They have an opportunity to rise to the occasion and shut everyone the hell up, especially the Vanny Bluebirds. I mean, and if they can go to Toluca and get a result and get through to the next round, man, can you imagine what that would do to the psyche for these players? And not only that, but again, the Vanny Bluebirds, I mean, what are they going to be harping on then?
Oh man, from your lips to the Lord's ears, Pa. Like there's so many things that need to happen. Like I think the thing that maybe for me, it's less about the results and just more about the performances. Like, how many performances have we seen, like, where fans, like, even in a loss, maybe, like, or a draw, like, where fans can leave the stadium, or fans can go, like, go off to in their evening saying, you know what, we lost that game, we didn't get the points, but the team showed heart, the team showed fight. I was proud of that performance. I don't think we could say that a lot this year, and I think that's been the most disappointing thing so far. But hopefully we see some performances in April, man, because you're definitely gonna need 2 performances against Toluca. That's for damn sure. Otherwise, you're gonna get stopped.
Well, at the end of April, one of 2 things will be true. Vanny and his team will have shut everyone the hell up, or he will have given all the haters more ammunition, and the calls and the noise will get louder. But yep. I think that's pretty much it for us today. Don Anandita Kirana. We want to say thank you for everybody in chat. That's been amazing, making me chuckle, making Ananda chuckle, and bringing the heat as well, bringing some really good observations and comments as well. We do appreciate you guys being here with us. Y'all know what to do. Put someone on, show someone this humble little podcast, and get them to hit that subscribe button. We'll love you forever. Ananda will take a shot with you, he promises. And Ananda, anything to add before we get on out of here?
No, I just want to say thank you to everyone in chat for hanging out with us, for giving us your, like Rob said, your observations, your feels, This season has not started the way any of us wanted, I don't think. But hopefully upwards and onwards from here. And like I said, you guys, like the team, you guys use this break to give yourself a little mental break from this team before we come back. So yeah, definitely. But no, we love you guys. And so actually, Rob will let us know what shows we got coming up.
Yeah, we Ananda said, you guys take a break. The team's taking a break. I mean, the team always sends out like their weekly schedule, and on the weekly schedule this week they have a couple of days off. So we figured we'd take a day off as well. On Thursday, March 26th, we will not be with you guys, unfortunately. We will miss you. We'll be taking the day off. I'm sure the ministers of finance and both households will appreciate that. Get us some brownie points, and that'll be good. So that way we can come back and hit this April stretch hard with you guys and bring up all the information, all the Galaxy coverage that you guys need to get you through April. Hopefully we see you guys at Tucker's event this weekend.
Pull it up right there again in case for anyone who joined late. So guys, it's going to be awesome. Maybe rewind a little bit to figure out or to listen to all the details, but 12 to 3 at Trademark Brewing in Long Beach, $6 menu. Again, Tucker's going to put all the stops with his family. Should be a good time. We will definitely be there. So hopefully we see you guys out there, and to share some coffee or share Erm's what was Erm's sandwich called again? But the triple B burrito, right? The breakfast
triple B burrito.
Breakfast bacon burrito. Yep, that's Erm's burrito. So there you go.
Yeah, you know what, man? I mean, it's just like you can go out there with $20 and feed yourself really, really well, feed you and your family for cheap. And Pablo, I mean, it's a brewery, so I'm guessing you can get a beer.
Yeah, right.
Trademark Brewing in Long Beach, and yeah, we're not going to judge if we have a morning brew. So yeah, I mean, like I said, you guys can go have some good eats, go support the community, and meet Tucker, and hopefully we see you guys there. If you guys see us, come and get a sticker. Come get a hug, come get a photo. We want to meet y'all. We like I said, I mean, come get a photo, not for you, for us, so we can go ahead and memorialize the occasion, So anyway, until we meet again, go Nettles, and all you sports fans, I mean, we're gonna miss you. We'll see you back on Monday. But until then, I think there's only one thing left to say, right, Ananda?
Dale, pa.
I'm going for the record on this one. G.